Good afternoon, wherever you are. It's Chat About.
Chat About.
Straight in, we've got no time for messing about today. This is serious, chanky talking. This is heavy stuff. That was a bit strange language. Wherever you are, this is heavy. This is good today.
No,
this is good. This is good.
It's not heavy. We're not heavy. We're chatting about it.
We're chatting about
it. Yo. Welcome to the podcast. Straight after the ho.
We are. Is this our first one back? No.
Nah.
Second.
Second.
Yes,
our second one.
Welcome wherever you are across the earth today. We thank you so much for joining us today as you join us for Chat About, Lara and myself, as we just sit around the scriptures for 45 minutes, conversations, and see what God has been stirring. And Leya has a word, and the word is kings. Kings of the Bible, or king of the Bible. Just very interesting what we got going on within the UK after Her Majesty was called home. And what
Nicely
we have
put,
going
bro.
on.
I like that.
Yeah, you like that one, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Not bad,
That's nice.
Not bad. Yeah. So here we go. So what are we going to say about kings?
Well, let's put a bit of context into the story.
Go for it.
The story. So I noticed on Christmas Day that we were talking a lot about how Jesus was being chased down by Herod.
He was being chased.
In the form of being in his mother's womb at the time, a king.
Yes, the king.
And then we often do, I ruminated on it, and I went in a circle back to the Old Testament, where God and the Christians at the time were persecuted by another king, Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Pharaoh. And I thought about it, and I thought we were very blessed to have a queen.
We were very blessed to have a queen
who put God first.
Yep, defender of the faith.
When she was asked what it was, could be her one wish in her lifetime, she said, my one wish in my lifetime is that Jesus would come back to earth while I am here, so that I can supplicate myself at his feet.
Whoa.
And that made me really reflect upon the idea of leadership.
Servant.
Yeah.
Servant king.
But being a ruler, being a king, being a queen, being royalty. Royalty, because there is actually one king that we bow to, and that king rules over all the others. And I just saw that kind of the parallels between the ideas of it. And then on Sunday, our brother Donny was doing a really beautiful prayer.
Yes.
And I urge people to go back to the Sunday service and listen to that and listen to his prayer, which was about Jesus's love for us not being performance driven.
Correct.
Yeah. There's no there's no deal that you do with God in order to get his love and his forgiveness. There's nothing there that you have to do something in order to get it. There's no bargain. Fully paid.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of kings and rulers, especially the ones in the Bible, if you do this, I will do that for you. And a lot of the rulers in our life, in our modern day society, there are kind of like hooks and caveats and bargaining chips going on, performance for prizes, points to win prizes.
Yeah, we get a prize.
Yeah, but I like the idea that these kings in the Bible are placed there as part of a deliberate plan. And I love the section in the Bible, and I always have really loved it, where Jesus says to Pilate, the power that you have now, you only have because it was given to you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I love
you love that. I know you love that. It's a really interesting part of the scripture, isn't it? When Christ and Pilate were eyeball to eyeball, and Pilate thought that he had one over on Christ, when actually it was Christ, and the Father in heaven knew exactly what he was going to say, how he was going to say it, and basically he said, you only have this power because it's been given from above.
Exactly.
That's simple.
Exactly. And I feel like that should be recognised by all rulers.
That turned him around and went, oh, hang on a minute.
Hang on
a minute. There's something in this. So, yeah.
He took off his little tiara and he polished his little diamond and thought, this isn't right.
I'm in front of a real king. And in Matthew chapter 2, verse 1 to 23, it speaks about Christ, and it says, "Now after Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea, in the days of Herod the king," he was a nasty one, it says, "Behold, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem, saying, Where is the one who was born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star, which has rose, and we have come to worship him." Now that was, we know that story, don't we? We know the Christmas story, very big, very powerful story. The Battle of Two Kings, that's the way I look at that. And that
totes, bruv. I like that.
We've done a sermon on that. Matthew 2, verses 1 to 23. And it first starts off about the wise men. So we're really looking at about people with power. But what is a king, and what should a king do? A king has so much authority and so much power. But when King Herod heard about this, it says he was troubled, because he was a worldly king. He had a few wives. He got rid of his sons. There was all types of things that this man was up to, and he would not allow anyone to be higher than him.
Exactly.
So that's the issue.
Exactly.
I am the king, and you are not. But
there's only one I am.
He didn't realise that he was talking to the I am.
He was talking to the I am.
The I am. I am the I am. That's what he said.
He did say that.
So Herod, right from the birth of Christ, isn't that interesting, like we said the other day? The system and this whatever way we look at it, whatever a king stands for, an earthly king, has always been trying to remove Jesus.
Exactly.
Always trying to remove
God, Jesus, our faith.
A massive percentage of leaders in the controlling area of I'm talking about real heavy, like really whatever they say actually goes. Kings, the political areas, all what we see in the Old Testament, whatever way we look at that, the rulers, the majority of the rulers wanted Jesus removed. The leaders in the church at Christ's time.
They saw themselves as little kings.
Yeah, the leaders. Even look at King Saul back in the old days. When kings were kings.
Was it during the war?
During the war, wasn't it? When you look at King Saul, King Saul got very jealous of David. Isn't it interesting that even as a ruler and as a king and as someone that carries a lot of authority, if they see someone that is stronger, maybe more gifted, rising higher than them, it's very interesting, isn't it, that when someone is in a position of power, when their power is challenged, or even someone accelerates their not for any means of showing off, but literally, some people are really gifted at leadership, some people are really gifted the way they do what they do, people are called to do certain things. But Saul got really, really agitated, really upset, because he could see David was starting to rise up through. And you can see this, can't you, in the world today.
It's almost like they don't want to acknowledge their fear.
No.
They don't want to acknowledge their fear that somebody might usurp them.
Yeah.
But the thing that I love about, one of the many things that I love about Jesus is he wasn't afraid in the Bible to show his fear. We are able to see that really intimate scene where he says to God, this is your will. If this is your will, please take this away from me. He is so frightened. You can tell he's really frightened.
Yeah.
And he's not ashamed to say it. Whereas other and he accepts that this is the deliberate plan, and this is something that he's going to fulfill. But other kings in the Bible and leaders in the Bible try and measure what they have to do, and try and measure their authority, measure their fear, measure their power, measure their impact on the world, become threatened, and then go down devious means.
Yeah, as soon as authority is threatened, and in a way of it could be outstretch them, they could be sitting in the number 2, number 3, number 4 seat, there is trouble.
It's like, let's kill everyone.
Yeah, look at King Saul again in the Old Testament. Very, very clear what King Saul got really, really jealous of David, and he was trying to get David. He tried to kill him a few times, and that's when David got very, very wise, and it says Saul tried to stab him in the back with a spear. So that's where the words backstabbing come from.
I like that.
But David was wise, and David got out of Saul's place. David was wise. He got away, but there was a couple of times.
Did a little bit of ninja action and was like,
he might have done a bit of James Bond. Yeah.
Got out of the way. Out of the tent.
Out of the tent. Bang.
Yeah.
It was a palace, actually.
Yeah, sorry.
And they was but Saul wanted to pierce him to the wall. Wanted to spear him against the wall. Backstab him.
Pharaoh wanted to kill all when he found out that there was going to be somebody that was going to lead the Israelites out of his power, out of his control, essentially it was. He tried to kill all the babies.
Oh,
he did.
The majority
there was
of the kings. No, well, there was.
Yeah.
When you see what was going on, and even Herod done that.
Exactly.
He ordered at the birth of Christ those that was young infant males to be wiped out. When you think about that, the king is ordering this.
Holocausts.
Absolutely unbelievable. Yeah. Biblical fact as well.
Yeah, exactly.
With what goes on. So kings, what is a king? King is a servant. King is a ruler. King has authority. King has power. A king is a servant. So if you look at
somebody that you want to follow,
someone you want to follow that is a role model, that is powerful but not saying it.
It's the difference between a manager and a leader, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. It's same within business, isn't it? And within the workplace, there are a lot of people that think they can be leaders, and actually, we know what we're saying here. And people in the world of business, offices, all that sort of stuff, many people climb the CV and get themselves up and up and up, when actually you're not really a leader. To be a leader, you need to be a servant on every level. And you need to be able to show the workforce that you will do anything. And good leadership is to show, not to sit in the office all day long and point the finger and send an email of uffety-fuffety to people and be angry.
Uffety-fuffety.
But to literally come out the office, come out the ivory tower, walk down the staircase and say, come on, let's walk together.
Exactly.
A great leader. Look at Christ. He walked with the disciples. He humbled himself. But and he is the king above all kings.
Exactly.
He walked the earth. He cooked for them. He helped them. He walked with them. He spoke with them. He helped them. He healed them. You'd never see Christ really pulling that leadership card on anyone.
And the power of Christ just supersedes any earthly power that there could possibly be.
Definitely.
Everything that they tried to do to stop God's deliberate plan. I love that phrase. I'm going with it quite a lot today. In the time of Moses, and then in the New Testament as well, they tried to stop Jesus's plan, and then they tried to crucify him to stop the plan.
Yeah.
But that was the plan.
That was the plan.
That was the plan. They're pawns to him because they're just
being moved on the board.
The power that he has supersedes everything because it's love.
Yeah, God's plan. We can say this. God's plan was a very strange and a new and a very almost crazy plan. The redemption plan, it goes against everything that you possibly could think. You know, to hand his son over, and for the son, who is the king above all kings, the ruler of the world, the one that created heaven and earth, to actually humble himself. The greatest leader that ever walked this earth was Christ, and he not once showed his authority in a way of, look, I'm the daddy here.
Well, that's it. I was just looking at John 18:33-38, and he said, so this is where he goes to Pilate. So Pilate entered his headquarters again and called Jesus and said to him, "Are you the king of the Jews?" And Jesus answered, "Do you say this of your own accord, or do others say it to you about me?"
There you go.
Is that, am I?
Am I?
Am I though?
Am I?
Am I?
Am I?
Am I?
It's interesting, isn't it, how Christ always turns it back to the person, not in a worldly way, but in a way of, who do you say I am?
Yeah, exactly.
Who do you say I am?
Yeah, you think about it. You ruminated it. You reflect on it.
Yeah.
Because anything that Jesus could say at that point would have no effect. But he knows that if you plant the seed of thought into somebody's head, they're going to ruminate it, and that will be a much more powerful game changer.
Definitely.
Yeah. I love this as well. Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is a stream of water in the hand of the Lord. He turns it whether he will. It's that same thing. He will flow he will pass the water over you, but it's up to you to take it in.
Amen. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. He is the king above all kings. It's like even the part in the text when in the New Testament when Christ was going and they was he was before Pilate, before Herod, before all of them, Pontius Pilate. When you look at all the authorities that he was in front of, he never once drew his heavenly authority.
He never got angry.
He never drew that. On the cross, he said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." He never pushed that authority like anyone that we are very familiar of, whether in business, whether in the world leaders. You can see them when they make their speeches, and kings and those that carry authority, certain ones
he never
across
spoke
the other
for
side of
personal
the
gain.
pond that I'm thinking of, old leaders that was very, very condescending, very brash, very very strange, because there's not leadership. Cruel. Leadership is to be a leader, you've got to be a servant. You've got to serve the people around you. And you serve, and you don't look for all the back scratching for yourself.
Exactly.
You just go, right, okay, I'm a servant. Jesus says I'm a servant. He's come to serve. The scripture is very clear. We know that he's the King of the Jews, and a king is someone of authority, that he's the King of glory, the King of heaven. He is the King above all kings. He is the King, that there is no one higher than him. But when you look at his authority, his sovereignty, and then you look at his servanthood as well, his servanthood is stronger than his kingship, in my understanding. He served more than he showed that king, but through the serving, you can see, he is the king.
He is the king.
Through the serving heart.
That's beautifully said.
Thank you.
That's all right.
I went to, what's that place where you go to learn?
Swanley School?
No, where you learn to say fine words and they make you speak nice.
An oratory school.
Elocution lessons.
Elocuziano?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You went to go and speak like a king.
I went to speak like a king.
Like a king. Well, that's the thing as well. This is a king. This is a king that was born not in any kind of jewels or finery or anything. This is it. He wasn't born at a special wing in a hospital in London with the press waiting outside to take a picture.
Yeah.
He was born in a borrowed like food trough.
Manger.
A trough, basically. A borrowed trough is where he was born. He didn't have like the press and all that, and kings and queens coming to visit him. He had like a donkey and a cow and a couple of chickens in the corner. His mum and dad, nice. Yeah. And then the magi's come and the kings.
The wise men, that.
And a couple of angels, if you look at the Christmas cards, floating over the top.
Oh, no. Yeah, of course.
And then he lived out his life as a workman.
Yes.
Not as a king, not as a prince.
No.
Even though he was acknowledged as being the Prince of Peace prior to his birth.
Yes.
He lived the life of a commoner, a workman, working with his hands, earning his money, working with people, tradesmen, going down the marketplace, selling a couple of DVD racks. Do you know what I mean? This is what he did. He went to parties, he lived his life, he lived among people. And then when he did go to work and teach in the community and began his life as a leader, as we know it, he didn't go with anything. He didn't go in a fine chariot. He didn't have a sedan chair with people following after him and brushing the floor before he went in a limousine. Do you know what I mean? He walked somewhere. And then when he met people, he just said to them, come on, let's go.
Or he rode on a donkey.
Donkey.
He rode on a donkey.
Come with me, let's go. I'll take, we'll go. And then what he said to his people was, don't take anything with you when you go to these places. Don't go in with finery or anything like that, because it will show arrogance.
Yeah.
Go in and be with people. Then when he died in a borrowed, he was buried in a borrowed tomb.
Yes.
Not even wearing his own clothes,
garments,
and he wasn't buried in finery. There were no jewels, there was nothing like that. He was buried in a
borrowed tomb, wrapped up in grave
clothes.
That was it. It's that simple.
And he gave them back.
Yeah, he wrapped them up
when he ascended to his actual kingship.
Because he takes up the throne.
Yeah, he gave those. He took nothing from the world, but he gave everything
because he created the world.
God, blimey!
When you think about it,
I just went full Jesus circle. Your face was shining when I was talking.
Full Jesus story on me. A full Jesus story.
I know, and you knew it all. I'm sorry.
No, don't say that. What I love is about the Jesus story is he is a king that was carried by his mum.
Yes.
He was a king carried by his mum. He's the when you think this
I don't think he had a wet nurse or anything like that either. It was just like
no. Not called a midwife.
No.
when you think about all that as well, when you really analyse the life of Jesus from birth to death, it was a real tough life.
Yeah.
It was absolutely.
There was no NHS.
There was no palaces. There was no red carpets. There was no. And he was hidden as well. Got to remember, he was hidden from society. He just blended in, or even the family was known as the bit of an oddball family because of that. You heard about that boy there, that one with the beard, that one. He was, that one.
And they all knew. Because it was a tiny little village that they come from.
Got around. But what fascinates me is King Herod at the birth of Christ. It says, "Where is the one that has been born King of the Jews?" He's referencing Christ as King of the Jews.
And then Pilate references him as King of the Jews. And he says, Am I?
Am I? He's the King of the world.
Do you know what he says?
Above all kings.
Why'd you got to be like that? That's what he said.
Why'd you got to be like that? It's like, when you really look at the sovereignty of God and the power of the Holy Spirit and Christ, it's really difficult for me to grasp that this King above all kings, the King of the Jews, the creator of heaven and earth, humbled himself and came all the way down the way that he came through, 14 generations.
Yeah.
Came out of Mary, Harry came out of Mary, birth where he was birthed. But this is the God. This is God.
This is God.
This is God.
I can breathe life into anything. Nothing. I can breathe life into nothing, but I'm going to be born in a trough. I created breath. Yeah. I created oxygen. I created the atoms. I created everything that is in existence. I put the stars in. I done everything. Yeah.
But I chose to send my one and only son to die the most horrific death on the cross of Calvary. It's just like you can't. It is so far. You need the Holy Spirit to give you an understanding how to believe it, because putting it down on paper, and if you've done it you looked at it outside of the eyes of Christianity, you go, no, there's no chance. But even as a Christian, look, when you really analyse it and you really look at the life of this king, as you said, he came into the world, he grew up up to the age of 30, he just lived a life, he was a worker, he had brothers, he had a family, he had a mum, he got a dad, stepfather, Joseph, you got all that. His father would have brought, you got all this stuff going on, but he is the king. The king with no palace.
The humble king.
What was his bed like? I often think, what was Jesus' bed like?
Oh my gosh, blow my mind.
Think about that.
And who taught him to do the perfect dovetail joint? Do you know what I mean?
Don't know. What was his duvet like?
And
Did he
why
have,
was that part of God's deliberate plan? Why was that part of God's deliberate plan to go, because it was all planned, everything was preordained. Deliberate. So I'm gonna send my son down to be with human beings, and I'm going to make him a carpenter.
Yeah, and he's gonna humble himself, and he's gonna die the most horrific
so that he could understand
death.
The intricacies of our heart.
Oh, God.
Because a king that is born into riches and opulence and separated from humanity and not living amongst human beings can't understand the complexities of our minds and our hearts.
So the more
even though he created them.
Yeah, so he's created everything, and actually to grasp everything is almost impossible, isn't it? Because human beings, we always try to work things out. We are always trying to find a formula. Yeah. Believers, non-believers, whoever we are always trying to find the method to get the answer.
But you know what it's like. If somebody that's I'm trying to say this in the right way. If someone really affluent or pious comes to you and says, oh no, you don't want to do it like that, you want to do it like this, I'll tell you a story. Let me tell you a story of when you would go, jog on.
Do one.
leave it out. I'm trying to cook my dinner here. What's going on? Do you know what I mean? I'm standing in the queue at the kebab shop. Why are you coming up to me, giving me all this? But if somebody that also stands in that kebab shop line and is also cooking their dinner comes up to you and starts saying to you, oh yeah, I've been through that. Can I offer you a little bit of advice?
Yeah.
Non-pious.
And
judgmental. I mean, considering he was a chap that never sinned.
But tempted in every way.
Tempted, but never sinned.
Never. Pure to the core.
It would have been very possible for him to be pious.
Yeah, very.
But he never did.
No.
He never was. People listened to him. People liked him because he gathered crowds. So they were attracted to him. Yeah, and because he was the King of Kings.
And also Isaiah makes it clear there was nothing about his appearance that was attractive.
Yeah.
So he wasn't like...
He wasn't hot. He didn't have teeth like Ryland.
No, he didn't. No, he wasn't like Daniel Craig coming out the ocean, 007, all that. Do you know what I mean? And
he didn't have a face like Brad Pitt.
No, he didn't. Not like Tom Hardy and all them. You know what I mean? There was none of that going on.
I don't feel it about Tom Hardy.
No.
We'll go back to Brad Pitt.
Okay, all right.
He didn't have those long flowing blonde locks that they say he had in all those random pictures. So he was just a normal dude.
Yeah, and he blended in.
Yeah.
That's what's so powerful. He blended in because he was off the radar.
Yeah.
Off the church radar until
his crew that followed him around.
But what we got to remember is that was only for 3 years. So up to the age of 30. Yeah. Apart from the odd scripture we have where he was missing in the temple and all that, but his life for 30 years as the king, the creator of heaven and earth, the greatest leader the planet has ever seen, the most powerfulest person that would just look at demons and they would just melt into just tarmac. They would just disappear. He didn't need to do anything, but he chose to live 30 years as a human being, and then I know he lived the other 3 for a human being, but he lived for 30 years as the king above all kings, under the table, off the radar,
as a normal
human being with every issue,
adolescent,
everything coming at him. Yeah, everything coming at him.
He would have gone through puberty.
The whole shangabang, the whole lot, the full bosh. He would everything in his life.
I don't mean that coarsely. No, I mean in terms of the whole emotional
the journey of being a human being
to a child when they go through that
whether you're a man or a woman.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Whether a man or a woman, you have a journey from your whole humanity is a journey of dealing with your feelings, dealing with your anger, dealing with pride, dealing with bitterness, dealing with unforgiveness, dealing with temptation, dealing with fear. Everything that goes on under the sun.
The man.
And the Bible says the man Christ Jesus said, you have a leader that was kept under the radar for 30 years, not brought up in a palace, but the greatest servant.
Yeah. That's the thing that gets me. He wasn't brought up in a palace.
He wasn't brought in a palace.
But he was the son of the Creator. He is the Creator.
He is the I Am.
And yet he chose as part of his... Oh, this is the bit where my brain will get a bit of God's deliberate plan, so it's his deliberate plan.
Yeah.
So it's his choice to live
as a human being. In every way,
and they weren't rich.
Form.
He would have been a workman, he wouldn't have been rich. Do you know what I mean?
No.
So it wouldn't have been like they would be getting like steak every day. No. They wouldn't have been able to go down Miller and Carter. They would have been literally, what's for tea today, Mum? Oh, lentils. And unleavened bread.
Yeah. So
might have a bit of quail. Depends what God's delivered. So, sorry.
No, seriously. When you look at the greatest king that's ever walked this earth, not once did you see him in a palace. Not once did you see him being served.
You did, but he was dressed in his normal... I don't want to say rags. That's not the right thing. No, his robes, his normal...
In his normal Jewish clothing that was very traditional.
Yeah.
His hair was long, his beard.
Yeah.
His skin colour, his hands must have been rough.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was never... he's never shown to be in finery.
No.
Or like smooching or... Right, this is where I'm bringing it round to now. We have a lot of leaders that are in that sort of situation, don't we?
Smooth hands.
Yeah.
We have a lot of leaders.
We have a lot of leaders that haven't worked a day in their life.
No, so that is why.
And yet they profess to. This is the thing
that is why the trouble we have in the leadership of this nation at this moment, because a lot of leaders do not know how to get through because they've never needed to get through. Because they've been born into notoriety, they've been born in a palace.
Or the honour code is, but my parents did. Now, this is not a political affiliation because I'm hearing it from a lot of politicians from different...
Well, of course.
From different
but it's human
things.
Language, isn't it?
But they say, well, my mother had to work very hard in the NHS to be able to afford things for us, as if that's like, by association, I've worked hard. And then you get another side that says, well, my parents owned a pharmacy and they worked really hard to get where they could. Again, as if it's like a badge of courage. But actually, what did you do?
What did you
do?
I was born into £1 billion family.
I know you were.
So when you look at true leadership comes from the manger.
Oh, truth, bruv.
True leadership comes from the manger, then to the throne, if you want to look at it like that.
It comes from the nothing.
Because if you're born on the throne, on the throne of grace, you're always going to stay on that. That's why Christ was the greatest leader in the world, because he was birthed into muck. Yeah. And he knew how to live, and he knew what it was like to be on universal credit. He knew what it was like to be in social housing. He knew what it was like to have a fight. He knew what it was like probably to go hungry. He knew what it was like to be cold at night. He knew. He had first-hand experience as a human being, but the king above all the biblical, above the whole world. And he imagine what his bed was like, his sandals and all that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Probably... Like nowadays, you go down to the local Blue Water shopping precinct or whatever, and you can buy yourself however many things that you want. Yeah. But Jesus' shoes must have lasted him years, and he would have repaired them.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's not like you could just go,
bring the washing in. No, I've done
Foot
it, Mum.
Locker. Does that exist anymore? I don't know.
Yeah,
there are other shoe shops available on the market. He must have gone to... You couldn't just go down somewhere and buy a new pair of like Nike Air or whatever. I don't know. Are they fashionable?
Yeah, of course they are.
Yeah. I don't know. I wear old people's shoes. So Converse. You couldn't just go down there and buy another pair of Converse when those ones run out, even though Converse last forever. Because he would have been like, I'm wearing these. I haven't got no money.
Yeah, Jesus.
Everything goes to my family.
Your Nikes have lasted 15 years.
Yeah.
And they look so clean. And what are them angels doing in that room, cleaning all your clothes?
Yeah.
I've done my washing, Mum. Comes out as white. I bet if you want your clothes to look really white, use Jesus white.
Yeah.
Jesus automatic non-bio will get you as white as white.
Jesus.
Washing liquid.
But what I don't want people to think is that we're saying that only that anybody that has money isn't of good intent.
No, we're not saying that. We're not saying that.
Yeah,
there are uncountable people that are really dripping and have beautiful hearts and do things without anyone else knowing. But what we are looking at is leadership.
Yeah. So,
and you find a lot of leaders. Look at the Westminster accounts.
Well, that's why I wanted to. I know. But I wanted to point that out because a lot of people from the Westminster come from affluent backgrounds, and I didn't want to make out that what we were saying was that affluent people are nasty people, because Proverbs 29,
birthed into the throne.
Exactly, they are
type of lifestyle.
Proverbs 29:2 says, "When the righteous increase, the people rejoice, but when the wicked rule, the people groan." And I feel that's where we are at in our modern society at the moment. We're having, it's like that birth pains that you talk about.
Yeah.
We are in a state of groan at the moment. We're in a state of lies from our leaders in terms of taxes that people are like I'm not going to go into it, but if you look at the news,
gets wild.
If you go into the news and see what taxes people aren't paying, if you go and see what people attended, what parties while you were trying to take care of your loved ones during COVID,
and how much money you got coming through to your office when we are going, can I afford a Big Mac?
Yeah.
Can I? Should we chance it? No, we can't afford it. Can we have a kebab? Well, do you know what?
No.
We can't. You know, we've got
How
to be
many
careful.
people are having to use food banks
Mum,
and food
I need some
projects
shoes.
like our beautiful one here? Do you know what I mean? How many people are having to, not people that choose to because they don't like food waste, but how many people are relying that they cannot eat if they don't
Turn your heating
attend to that, can't turn the heating on, having to go to
Watching
really
your petrol.
great second-hand and retro shops in order to be able to get clothing.
To clothe yourself.
Do you know what I mean? And then there are other people that are having their meals subsidised. Their second-hand house subsidised, are getting jets up and down the country.
Oh yeah, I see that the other day.
And or building telescopes to look up into the universe that God created.
You've got to be really careful, ain't you? Because
I'm not saying I want people to think that I'm attacking the rich, and I don't want people to think that I'm attacking a political party. But what I'm saying is we need to be questioning our leaders in terms of what life have they led to get them to have the experience
to be able to lead.
Because
you can't
are
lead.
Are they leading with their hearts?
You can't lead unless you've been through. So when you look at Christ,
you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, girl. You know, you can't. A great leader is someone that was birthed into a manger or birthed in or on the wrong side of the tracks of the town.
Yeah.
A great leader is someone that knows what it's like to be hungry, to be thirsty, to go through the trials and the stretching and the strain of being a human being. A great leader knows how to lead in times of trouble.
You can't learn leadership at university.
It'd
Do you know what I mean?
It'd be like me trying to go and be a lecturer in Oxford.
Lecturer, not lecturer, just so you know.
I can't even say the word. See, it'd be like me trying to be a lecturer. Is that how you say it?
Lecturer.
See, I couldn't even... So it would be like me trying to go and lecture quantum physics when I can't even understand what quantum physics is. Yeah. So that's the reverse, isn't it? That's how it will be.
Yes.
Trying to teach something that I ain't got a clue about.
If you don't know how much a pint of milk costs, how can you be the treasurer?
Exactly, yeah. And it's cost us £54 million with a stroke of a pen.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at what the last...
If you're giving your friends backhanders for PPE equipment, how can you be in charge of the NHS? I'm not saying that's what that person did, because I'm just generalising there. I'm just generalising. I don't want us to get sued at church. But
they can't do that. Jesus is with us.
Yeah, it's true.
No, but we're freedom of speech. We are allowed to talk.
Freedom of speech.
We are allowed to speak and have our opinion because we are living in a narcissistic control. No, sorry. We are living in a democracy.
So, going back to what Donnie was saying, though.
Yeah.
These people that we're talking about now, the ones that we're like getting all passionate about because we're like angry.
Because we love them.
Yeah. Those are the people that are putting the performance statistics on us. They're the ones that are saying, if you want to get this, then you have to fill in that. And if you want to have this, then you have to do that. And if you want that house, then you have to get yourself into so much debt.
Yeah.
And if you want to, and Jesus does not do that. Our King does not do that. And it took Don doing that prayer on Sunday for me to realise maybe I've been actually working to that a little bit too much. Maybe I've been worrying a lot about my own performance, like in work, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
I've been really worrying about it. I've been going to people and in my own personal life and saying, you know, we were having that conversation the other day. Was that okay, that conversation? Because I feel like
You're
maybe I overstepped the mark.
Looking for validation because we got so much hanging on certain things.
Or I don't, like, because I don't actually do the work that the people that I manage anymore do. I manage them. I hope I lead them.
Yeah, yeah.
So when they ask me questions about that, I say to them, look, I'm going to need to look that up. I'll look it up and then I'll be able to come back to you. And I've been worrying to myself, thinking, should I just know that off the top of my head?
No.
Should I just know that off the top? But this is what I'm saying.
But then,
is that performance?
But then the issue is if we name and claim that we know everything, then we become false and you don't get respect.
True.
But if you say, actually, I'm not quite sure about that, let me go and have a little rumble through the jungle and I'll come back with an answer and we'll sort it out. That's what leaders, that's because you're encouraging one another, you're helping one another. No one can know it all, but the problem with line managers...
Do you know what else you're doing? You're doing exactly what Jesus would do, hopefully, I hope, in that situation, is to say, actually, I'm going to be humble here, and I'm going to not pretend that I know everything, and we're not going to pretend that I'm perfect, and I'm not going to feel threatened by you asking me that question.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, actually, I don't know. Let's find it out. Let's find out. I'm going to be a human being in this situation.
Yeah.
And that's what Donnie's lovely prayer brought to me.
But line managers and people that are managing us, whether work, wherever it is, seem to think that they know it all, and you know that they don't know it all, and you can see them get. That's why we've got so much stress at work, because managers and bosses are quite frightened of saying, I don't know.
Thing is, I've got good managers who
do
that.
We're not referring to your block where you work, but we're just talking about a massive general skin across the drum of work.
And I make mistakes, and then other people are underneath that pressure.
And then the manager can quite easily go, I'm better than anything, and start putting themselves on pedestals. And then suddenly when it really hits the fan, they ain't got a clue.
When somebody else comes along
might
have a possibility of usurping
them. That might
them.
be one like the king of the Jews, suddenly their eyes turn like Herod.
Yeah.
I want you out of the office.
Or David.
I'm not having it. I'm not having it. So leaders are servants. That is the only way you can look at it. A great business leader, someone in any area of leadership, a leader will know how to lead in a crisis. A leader will know how to lead when it's dark and bleak.
Exactly.
And is willing to close the laptop in their office, come down the staircase and go, we've got an issue, but we're gonna work we're gonna work it out, and we're gonna walk together.
Yeah. Exactly.
A bad leader will just close the door and go, get on with it.
Yeah.
Get on with it. It's your problem.
Also, I think an earthly leader,
and
I think that's where today's leaders are falling short, specifically now, are not acknowledging that they're not a leader. They're not a king.
No,
that's the thing that I loved about our beautiful queen.
Yeah.
Is that she said, well, I may be the ruler in this country, but I am I'm
a servant.
Yeah, I'm a servant. I'm a servant to.
So the name on the door, on the office door, and the title on the lanyard, people get attached to. They love a title. They love a title. But Jesus didn't. He just said, "You the King of the Jews." He went,
"Am I?
Could be, might be."
I do like this part though. I know that we're running short of time, but I do.
We are.
I do love this part. Okay, because I want to finish off that bit. Okay, so John 18:33-38. So Pilate entered his headquarters again and called Jesus and said to him, "Are you the King of the Jews?" And Jesus answered, "Do you say this of your own accord, or did others say it to you about me?" And Pilate answered, "Am I a Jew? Your own nation and the chief priests have delivered you over to me. What have you done?" And Jesus answered, "My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, my servants would have been fighting that I might not be delivered over to the Jews. But my kingdom is not from the world." Then Pilate said to him, "So you are a king?" And Jesus answered, "You say that I am a king." I love that. "For this purpose I was born, and for this purpose I have come into the world, to bear witness to the truth."
Have that.
"Everyone who is of the truth listens to my voice." And that's it.
And we're out of here, because you can't wrap it up any more than that, can you? The king has spoken.
Yeah.
The king, it brings silence, doesn't it? How could that man listening to that go, "Yeah, you've got me there, Jesus.
Yeah.
I might as well just pack my bags up and just
he must
disappear,"
have felt
because
like
a little tiny, oh no.
It makes me want to cry
because
listening to it, reading it, and realising what it's saying there is, this is the purpose. When he says, "For this purpose I was born, and for this purpose I have come into the world, to bear witness to the truth." And he knows that the next thing is, for this purpose I'm going to die.
Yeah. And when you look at the way Christ spoke to him, he's not speaking like a monarch, a worldly monarch. You can feel that in the text, can't you? That man, let's say the man, let's not give him any authority here. The person opposite Jesus listening to that must have thought, "Oh no, there is something different about this man.
My
Jesus.
palace is falling.
This is the end. This is literally the end." To be eyeball to eyeball, hearing Jesus' voice, drop that line in your throne, you might have just gone, I'm done. There's no way forward. He's not condescending. He's not tearing him to pieces. He's talking about a kingdom this spiritual kingdom, the king's domain that supersedes, that knocks any earthly kingdom to pieces, just tramples it over, just gone. And there's a possibility that ruler in front of him then just realised that there was a spiritual connection, not a connection of royalty to royalty, because it's not the royalty that they was thinking about, that this is the rule of the world. This is the king above all kings. And how was that man's heart? Because then he turned.
Yeah.
He wanted to free him.
He did.
Because he had a spiritual encounter with Jesus.
But it was the little kings with the little power.
Yeah. So basically, when you meet the King of Kings and you have a spiritual encounter, because that's what you'll have, it changes your life. And it changed his life.
And it makes you see the truth.
Yeah, but Jesus wasn't wearing a crown.
No.
He wasn't dripping in gold and notoriety. He was there beaten, whipped, bleeding. It must have looked horrific. It must have looked horrific. And that leader opposite him that had that conversation really met God.
He did.
And
looked him in the eye.
And God will change your life. You can't get that one, can you?
No.
Looking God in the eye, looking Jesus in the eye, knowing that you have given a command to beat him. So how was that man's heart? It flipped him. It changed him. It dealt with him. He changed after that moment.
But Jesus doesn't come to him in anger. He doesn't speak to him, in anger or anything like resentment or pain or anything here. He has a calm conversation with him. There's a calm conversation with him.
Imagine though looking into eternity.
Yeah.
What must it have been looking into Jesus' eyes? What must that have been looking? It
just blows my mind.
God, I've got a light question to finish it off.
Go
Is
on.
your duvet, have you got duck feathers or angel feathers? Because there was one who had angel feathers.
Angel
Imagine
feathers.
it must have just floated over his body every night. The right temperature.
Although when you're really cold, like it's going to be tonight, and you want to, when you want to get in and you want to back the sides down so you snuggle right in, and then it curl it right round your back. If it was floating, he wouldn't be able to do that.
But he might have said, Gabriel, turn me blanket up a bit tonight, son.
Yeah.
All right, Jeez. All right. You're right up there. I'm all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was his bed like? Seriously, I know we're running out of time.
I know. No,
but when you really study Christ as the man,
did he have his own room?
I doubt it. Not at early times, because it wouldn't have been a big old drum, would it? He would have shared a room. They would have. What did they sleep on? What was their beds
30,
like?
Well, they must have slept on pallets, I would imagine.
He might have had a
like
man
a futon
cave
type thing, and then.
No, but there's no cushion. What we got to remember is there is no. It's just straw and cotton and cloth.
Yeah, they would have filled a bag with straw, like a big.
What was his
mattress
pillow
shape.
like? Did Gabriel come down and lay there and they just floated?
No.
When you think about what Jesus went through,
he wanted to live as everybody else lived. So he'd be like, "Oh, I've got a bit of a crook neck this
and
morning.
another thing, there was
now
no
I've got
shower.
to go work with a crook neck."
There was no shower. There was no bathroom like we know it now.
Oh, don't.
When you really seriously think of how Christ lived as
Where was there a river near there? Did they go in the river?
They would have washed in the Jordan. They would have washed in. But it's not no washing
It would have been
machines.
stinky though, wouldn't it?
That's right. No
Especially
deodorant.
working really hard, like with his hands, hacking
That's
bits
what
of
I'm
wood
saying.
about
And don't forget,
in the heat as well. It's like the
In
Middle
the-
East is hot.
And also remember that they would never always wore shoes, so their feet, the skin. When you really look at Christ, really look at what Christ and how
His
he
feet
was
would have been
as a human
gnarled.
being,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
It's just like when you really think, what did he sleep on? What was his mattress like? I know I say some funny things. What was his room like? What was the
There's
home
nothing new
like?
under the sun.
What was it? What was it all his life like? These 30 years that he lived as...
Simple and dusty and
had no carpet.
hand to mouth and...
Yeah, eating, foraging.
There was a painting in the, I think it was the 1800s, and basically it showed Jesus in the workshop with his family around him.
Yeah.
And there was a massive outcry, huge, massive outcry, because it didn't show Jesus in a perfectly white gown with perfectly white alabaster skin and blonde hair. It showed him as being a workman, working with his tools.
So he wasn't like an IKEA figure.
Yeah. So there was huge outcry. It's by Millet. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, you'll have to send it. But really, we'll have to do a study. We'll have to do a chat on that one day.
Yeah.
Just talking about what his life would have been like.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're out of here. We've done 50 minutes. You have been listening to the Jesus Crew. You've been listening to the Jesus Crew, and you know we're not being flippant, we're not being funny, we're not taking the Lord's name in vain in any way, shape, or form. God bless the system within this nation, but God, does it need a blessing or what?
Just needs to be a little bit more kind.
Yeah, we've got so many strikes going on. The nation is in depression.
Oh, don't get me started
and in recession.
On the NHS. I can't cope with it.
No, but with everything going on, think about it.
Yes.
We really need the King.
Yeah.
We
are in a state.
If this is
we
a
are
time,
groaning under the pressure of
everything we've been talking about. This is when the leaders should rise.
Yeah.
The leaders should rise across every area of life and going on the mainstream media. Do not worry.
But it's because
we
of
will
the
get
fact
through this.
That they have not been righteous, that we're in this situation, that we're groaning, because their decisions, sorry, I know you've got your finger on the button, their decisions have led us into this situation.
Exactly.
It's them.
Yeah.
And people can say, okay, there was an international pandemic and that has led us into it, and there was an international recession, but no, decisions were made.
No.
And they weren't made with love.
No. Oh.
That's where I'm coming from.
The God of love.
They weren't made with truth, which is what your J to the E to the SUS does.
We're out of here. We're gone. Take care. Stay safe wherever you are. Keep in the word of God. Never give up. The King is with you. The King of righteousness, the King above all kings. Have a great day wherever you are across the earth. Thank you so much for sharing all this stuff out. Leia and myself have just been chatting. That's all it is, a chat. It's not a theological study, you know. Yeah. God bless. Good night. We'll see you soon. Take care. We love you all. God bless. Bye-bye. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for listening to Elim Church Swanley's latest podcast. You can find us on Buzzsprout, Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Alexa, Mixcloud, Facebook, Instagram and YouTube.